Hey man, did you hear? $15 per card. That's what PSA bulk pricing's at right now. That is sweet. I'm going to submit so much stuff to them. Hey buddy, slow it down a little bit. What if they go down more? Maybe you should just submit a couple. I don't know. Do you really think so? Because they were at $30 per card as their cheapest service level not too long ago. And now we're at half of that. What if this is all part of an intended taper plan? All right, I'm curious. Tell me more. I've got this theory where I think PSA is trying to be very strategic about controlling the inflow of cards that are being submitted to them. So each month, they're going to lower prices bit by bit in order to match anticipated levels of demand. At the end of the day, it's all about finding the price where demand for grading matches the supply of grading services, Filmington. Simple economics 101. Now, of course, another reason why they want to control inflow is to make sure that a massive backlog doesn't happen again, okay? So that is very important. So what's happening, Filmington, is you've got people like me, you, investors, collectors, flippers that have been holding back cards over the last couple of years, accumulating piles small to medium size. And we haven't just been anticipating the reopening of PSA because that's come, but we're also waiting for price points where it makes sense economically to submit these things. So if you look at data from September, PSA graded about 1 million cards, and of those, 275,000 or so were baseball. Now, of that 275K, only 74,000 were from 2022 products. Where are you getting this data again? It's from GemRate. I highly recommend that source. He's a good guy too, and he's bald like you, Filmington. All right, well, let's just be careful because that data actually represents what's being returned and graded by PSA versus what's being submitted to them. So there's a little bit of a lag there. But I think what you're alluding to is that once the pendulum continues to swing and the proportion of stuff that's getting submitted to them represents more of current year products, stuff from 2022 sets, that there will be less and less stuff to submit to them at current prices. You're quick. But also, when was aggregate demand for grading similar to today? Maybe Q4 of 2019? And what were the grading prices back then? I think it was $8.50 per card for bulk. Exactly. Now, if the price was $12 per card, that's about 50% greater than the $8.50, and that accounts for some inflation for things like materials and labor. And on top of that, industry capacity has increased a ton. I think PSA was grading closer to 300,000 collectibles per month back then in 2019 versus today it's right around 1 million. And SGC also had lower capacity back then. They weren't really taking a whole lot of modern back then. And CSG wasn't even open for business yet. Wow, you know what? You might be onto something here. Mark my words, Filmington. We're going to see $12 grading again and maybe even lower. And we're going to see that in either December, maybe January, who knows, but we're going to see it real soon. What does that mean for other grading companies? Well, they've got to drop their prices too, in my opinion. Now, is this good or bad for the hobby? What is that, a clown question, bro? Of course it's good for the hobby.